And we are live! Yes! That was so good. Right, so we are live. We are on time at 12:30. How cool is that? And you'll notice that David isn't with me. He literally messaged me a few minutes ago to say that he couldn't make it. So I've kind of had to scrabble around for news stories because he wasn't actually at his desk and he has all the news stories on his desk. So it's basically meant that I didn't know what I was doing because I'm not prepared. David is the one who's like amazing at preparing. I'm not. I'm really not like that. And I didn't have anything. So literally, I am a fraud. I didn't have anything. I have no part in the Kerching Club in a positive manner except being here, except showing up. So it was about 12:24 and I thought, right, you know, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. So I managed to find a few news stories. So yeah, awesome. I thought I've got to go full on ads for this because if I don't, I'm not going to be able to do it. You know, only ads can do this. So that's why I've got the blazer on. I've got the little neckerchief thing and I've got a hat on because I needed to be in that persona to do this. So yeah, I've got 5 news stories. We're all, well, I don't know why I put 10 up. I mean, 5 news stories that we're going to talk about. And then I will tell you about the challenge ads and how I got on selling a musical instrument. And I will provide proof of that in my next sales update. So then, you know, I'm not just, you know, all talk. So yeah, I will provide proof of that. And then I think that's it. I've got a couple of funny news stories in there, which I quickly found as well. It's probably not going to be as long. It's probably not going to be as detailed. But certainly I've done my best in the 5 minutes that I had. So yeah, I will just get into the chat. I'm not completely ready. I was trying to get on, you know, get on in time. Get in here on time. That's what I meant to say. Oh, certainly I've done my best in the 5 minutes. 1 second. There we go. Sorted. Right, no duplicate signs. So we have ads. Are you going to a fancy dress party? No, I am not. Are you Woody or Dick Turpin? I don't know. What am I? I don't know. Still in Sainsbury's. Sorry, ads, and good luck, David says. It's all right. It's all right. I to be honest, I was thinking this morning, oh, you know what? I don't know whether I have time to do it. I said that to David last week. I was like, oh, you know what? I don't know whether I'm going to have time to fit it in. It's terrible. Like, I probably do too much YouTube now again. Like, I got to that point where I was doing like loads of YouTube and I just didn't have any time. But before I start slipping into the Thursday talks mentality, I'm not going to ramble. That's for tomorrow. I will get on with the seriousness of this video, which is what you all came to see. We've got Nick in the chat, and I think we've got Andrea in there as well. Gunslinging time, he says. Yeah, well, I had to put this on. I had to go full on ads because I'm a lone ranger today, so I didn't have any time to prepare really. So I literally quickly scrambled around for a few news stories. So yeah, anyway, Adz has rudely interrupted me watching your latest vlog. Oh, you were watching Nick and Andrea's latest vlog, you mean? Don't squash with your spurs on, Adz. Don't squat with your spurs on. What spurs? I've not got spurs on, have I? Aren't spurs those like end of your cowboy boots? Is that right? I don't know. Anyway, let's get on with it. So, number 1, which I thought was pretty interesting when I quickly Googled. No, Nick, I wasn't going for the Lone Ranger. It's just, that was a I was just very good under pressure then, and I said Lone Ranger, but I wasn't going for that. I just kind of, anyway, it's what time does, isn't it? So, number 1, eBay's China Center of Excellence. 1 second, I can't read my own writing. Launches big data innovation. And of what I was reading very briefly, you can find this on Google. It's going to help startup businesses with regards to mentoring on things like e-commerce space, which I imagine is something to do with e-commerce and then something to do with space. I don't know. E-commerce space, anyway, online space, I think. Big data, which I didn't have enough time to look into what that meant, but it'll be something to do with, again, online or phones, technology, that sort of stuff. And the really interesting one that it's going to help startups with mentoring in is artificial intelligence. So in some way here, it seems to me, of what I've read, that eBay are trying to maybe get into that artificial intelligence market, because they maybe are looking long term, and maybe thinking that could work into the business in a long-term situation. So I don't know, but I'd have to read more up on that. But it was very interesting to see. So if you have any questions in the chat about that, you know, whack them in there. But certainly it's a good thing, because obviously technology is, you know, moving forward, it's going to be a bigger and bigger part of our lives. So it's a good thing that people are being mentored on it, and these startup companies and individuals as well are being mentored on it, so then we can sort of progress in the best way possible. Electra's just sat on the chair there, by the way, and she's just starting to fall asleep. She's falling asleep. Where are we? Yes. Oh, I was watching Caroline's latest vlog. Right. Could be hurrying back to it. Lol. And Andrea think he is silver as he has run off. Right then, where are we? I think that's everyone's comment. 1 second. Yeah. Letting the side down, David Phoebe says. Oh, well, it's okay. Number 2 is something I very quickly found on Tambay, and it's just VAT on eBay fees. We're all aware of that now. I literally just scrolled down very quickly on the site. I hardly ever go on Tambay, to be honest. I'd love to sit there every week or so and look at the updates, but I just don't find I can fit it in, you know, time-wise. But no, I went on there, and that's what I saw. One of the posts was a VAT on eBay fees, but we're all aware of that by now, so I'm not going to go into that. I think we even did talk about that in last week's show. So yeah, there was that one. I did quickly want to mention also, this isn't necessarily news related, but it is reselling related, is the eBay bid retraction form and the eBay best offer retraction form. A nightmare for sellers, but it's great if you're buying stuff and you maybe either put in a bid for something and then you've read the description after the bid and you need to retract your bid, or if you put an offer in for something and you want to retract your offer for the same reason. I wanted to talk about it because I wanted to talk about it in a video for ages, but I just keep forgetting. It's something in the community I don't think I've ever heard mentioned. I'm sure a lot of you will be aware of it and maybe even used it before, but basically I wanted to mention it because it's great for, obviously, if you're buying a lot on eBay to resell, because I mean, I've used it quite a lot. It is a nightmare for sellers because, and I always feel bad because when you say you're putting a bid on something that you're sniping or whatever, and you put a bid on it, and then all I'm thinking, oh, is the seller's got a little new bid notification come on the phone. Then you think, oh no, you know, that's got a little bit of a rip in the seal or something, so I'm going to have to sell it as like new or very good on Amazon. And therefore, my profit margin's gone right down. Oh, quick, what do I do? So then you go on Google, get the bid retraction form up. It's as easy as typing in Google bid retraction form, eBay, or eBay bid retraction form. Then you can literally put the item number in, select a reason for why you are retracting your bid. I usually select the reason of wrong price entered or something like that, because that's the nearest available one to what I'm actually to my actual real reason. So then you do that, but then I'm thinking at the seller's end, he's just got that bid through, and then he's like, oh damn, no, where's the bid gone? You know, and he's lost the bid. So it's a nightmare for sellers, and I've actually had it quite a few times when I've been selling, not on necessarily bids, but on offers. Like, you know, when you're on your mobile phone on eBay and you get a notification through that says offer retracted, so someone's retracted their offer. Well, that's actually what they're using. They're using the best offer eBay retraction form. So I just wanted to make that aware because I've not really heard anyone talk about it a lot, and it is a tool I've used quite a lot. I've known about it I think I've known about it since before I started reselling properly, but if I didn't know about it then, I've certainly known about it since I've been reselling. because I used to use it a lot when, even just personally, when I was like buying on eBay and stuff. But yeah, it's a great tool, and it's a terrible tool in the sense that it's great for buyers, you know, if you've inputted the wrong amount or whatever, but it's harsh for sellers. But I did just want to mention that, and then you can go and check it out yourselves anyway online. We've got 23 people watching now, which is awesome. Number 3 is this is a funny one. This is quite a good one, actually. This is supposedly, right? There's over on, I think, what site was this on? It was on a news site of some sort. I don't know how valid that is, because, you know, certain newspapers are biased towards political opinions or whatever, really, or opinions on life and stuff like that. All these newspapers are biased, really. But it said in the newspaper there's over one. Well, it's not that funny, actually. It's more, I'm saying it's funny. It's not really that funny. It's more like not scary, but just a little bit. Oh, what do you call it? Trying to think of the right word to call it. Like, I wouldn't say scary or frightening, but it's certainly a bit dark, maybe. And that it says here there's over 120 sex dolls on eBay. So that's kind of a funny side of it. But a number of them are childlike. So there's like 120. There's like way more than 120 sex dolls, but there's a lot of them that are childlike as well. So it's like, that's like the dark side of it, if you like. Hi all, Southwest Seller says. Late notifications, have I missed anything? No, I was just saying that David isn't going to be able to make it. But then, basically, the people who found this on eBay, like searching this and stuff, who were searching these sort of categories, was the national crime industry. So obviously, I think that's probably a bit more valid. You know, that's a more valid source to go off, the national crime industry. And they found this information on eBay, obviously by scouring eBay, just like kind of HMRC does and things like that. And yeah, we kind of got that up and got that information. And yeah, I don't know whether they're going to start pulling them off there. I don't know whether they're going to start. Just clicked back in, and you said childlike sex dolls. I know it's because we're doing the weird news stories now, because that's what I'm like. But yeah, I don't know whether they're going to start pulling them off eBay. I don't know whether they're going to start contacting the sellers or something like that. Because I mean, if the childlike dolls, then what are these sellers going to be like? You know, pulling them. All right, Nick. All right. Well, you know, it's not that bad. I'm not that bad. Bloody hell. Anyway, I'm doing okay for my words and my innuendos today. But yeah, I don't know whether they're going to be, you know, unlisting them for eBay or whatever. I'm certainly sure they'll be contacting the sellers and things like that. But I was just saying, it kind of makes you think, what are those sellers like if they're selling that kind of stuff? It's just a bit wrong, a bit weird. And then here's another one. Here's another story. I liked this one. This was quite good. Basically, some guy put a pram on eBay, like a buggy pram thing. And he advertised it. I don't know whether he advertised it in a funny way or something. I'm not sure. But he did. I think he did put in the description, if I'm right in what I was reading, that it had all sorts of bodily fluids passed through it. So like, because he had like 3 kids in it, you know, over the course of a few years, and obviously there's all sorts of bodily fluids and stuff on it. But basically the ad went viral, and they then got like loads of bids on it for some weird, bizarre reason. And you would never think it would amount to this much. But this is what I read. It went to £150,000. Again, it's on a newspaper article online somewhere. So I can't say it's completely valid, but I'm sure there is some truth in it. Maybe it didn't go quite to 150,000. Maybe they're exaggerating or something. But yeah, you know, you hear all these stories. Like, I remember when I was very young, and I'd say maybe about 10, and I remember all these stories going around on the news, like someone sold a Brussels sprout from last Christmas for X £1,000 on eBay or whatever, or someone sold a used napkin with some famous person's DNA on for X number of pounds or whatever. And more like when it was eBay, you know, a lot in its more infancy, and it was a bit more Wild West kind of thing. But they were the kind of stories that I heard on the news and stuff like that about eBay, and I remember them quite vividly because I've always been so involved with eBay from like the age of about 10, 11, 12. So even if I wasn't on it, you know, my mum and dad were on it, and I was always interested in it. So yeah, I mean, that was quite an interesting one. And then it says here, I wrote down here, yeah, so all sorts of bodily fluids on it. His wife found it hilarious, apparently. Well, I wouldn't find it hilarious. If I got 150,000, I'd be running to the bank. I wouldn't be laughing. I'd be running to the bank. I would. I'd be like, yeah, this is great. I wouldn't be laughing. I'd be more joyous, you know. But maybe she was laughing in joy. I don't know. But you wonder as well on that story is whether they actually paid. I mean, that could be a twist in the story, really. Like, you know, obviously it might have gone for 150,000, but did that guy really ever pay, or did that girl who, you know, or did it ever actually pay? That isn't actually said. No, I didn't do anything there, Adam. It was just a happy coincidence. It's saying eBay a little Wild West. I see what you did there. It's referring to my outfit. No, why do I keep doing this today? I keep making these weird connections without even realizing it. But I did it a minute ago with the Lone Ranger. What is that anyway? No, but I don't know. Maybe they didn't pay. You don't know, do you? Really, anything could have happened, to be honest. But it was certainly something worth noting. And I found it quite funny just to read a little bit about. I would have loved to read a lot more into these stories, but obviously because I had 5 minutes to prepare beforehand, it just wasn't going to happen. I was going to open with something really good as well. I thought, yeah, we'll get on the Kerching Club. We'll, me and David will go live. And then what I was going to do is when I said, like, welcome to the Kerching Club, I was going to say, this time it'll be done naked. And then, like, start to strip off slightly, just like a little bit, and then put them back on. And then I wouldn't tell David about it before we went live. And then his face would have been so funny, but I can't do that now. So I was a bit annoyed with that. But yeah, so there are the news stories I found. There was the challenge ads section, which I'll talk about in a minute. I'll just go into the chat quickly and see if there is any more questions. I thought maybe that was the theme, Adam. Oh no, it wasn't, Andrea. It was just, yeah, happy coincidence. I don't even know why. Oh, she's right asleep now. Right then, where are we? I think that's all the questions in all the things in the chat. Do it. Daniel says do it. No, I'm not going to do that. So I'm trying to think what else we actually talk about, what the structure is of the Kerching Club. Oh, obviously to tell you how our months went, but I kind of told you that in Thursday Talks, I think it was the other week. I had a great July, so that was cool. August, though, has tailed off slightly, but July was good. So that was one thing we normally do. We normally quickly talk about how our previous month was. And we are, yeah, this is the Kerching Club for July. So we're always like a month ahead or sort of a month in lieu or something. I don't know. We've got Pommy Pickers in the chat. Hi there. I've just said to everyone a few times actually that David can't join us today. So I'm just sort of doing a kind of half-length sort of Kerching Club just strung together. I never have any of the news stories. So, you know, I just had to grab some off Google and just roll with it, really. Nothing better than enjoying lunch in Adz's parallel universe. It's not a parallel universe, it's just my universe. Right, yeah, so the challenge ads section, actually, this was really good. It fit perfectly, this challenge ad section. So if you remember from last time on the Kerching Club, David gave me the challenge, set me the challenge of selling a musical instrument. And I thought, you know, I could do it. I've seen them at auctions. I've seen musical instruments at auctions. it wasn't going well. Like, it was pretty much 5 days before the next Kerching club that we didn't end up doing last week anyway. But it was like 5 days before that. Oh, we've got someone else in the chat, Car Boot Collectibles, or Car Boot Collectors. Hi there. So it was pretty much 5 days before the Kerching club that I actually finished this challenge. But to give you a bit of a backstory, at the start of the month, when obviously I got the news that that was the thing that David wanted me to sell, I thought, right, I'll look on the auctions. Oh, here we go. I've just joined the chat and Adz is talking about bodily fluids and stripping while dressed as a cowboy. Is he okay? Haha. That, if you know me, George, which you do, you should realise that that is like standard me anyway, if not like a little bit low down on the scale. But no, it was just a few news stories really. Although the stripping was my idea. So yeah, so basically I thought, right, I'll get some musical instruments from the auction, no trouble. I'll try and get a couple, because then if one doesn't sell, or you know, I might try flipping one on auction or something, and then yeah, I just thought maybe if I get 2 or 3 musical instruments, it would help me sell one at least. Bit more chance of selling one, because maybe one might not go or something. We've got Kirsten in the chat. Hi there. So yeah, I then went to look. Well, I went online to look at the viewing for the next auction, because I always do a preview before the view. So I go to the viewing day, but before the viewing day, on the Friday night, because that's when the catalogs get uploaded online. So on the Friday night, I always can't help myself but look on, through the lots. And then what I do on the Sunday night, before the viewing on the Monday, is I write all the lots I'm interested in looking at on the viewing. Then at the viewing, I might add to that list, I might remove, I'll check condition of stuff. That's if I go to Knutsford auction. If I go to Warrington auction, I don't go to viewing. So it's a bit hard with that one, because you're like, oh my God, you've got to be really careful with what I pick up. Because you can't really go for breakables or anything like that, like I did yesterday, or like I did the other day, because you don't know what condition we're in from the pictures. But I'm straying aside now from the point. Yeah, so I found that can't even speak. I found that there were actually a few musical instruments for sale at this auction. I think there was is it a Zenith? No, not a xenophone. A xenophone. That's not right. A xylophone. I was thinking like is it a xenophobe or something? That's fear of foreign people or something. But I don't know why I got those two mixed up. But yeah, a xylophone. That's what I'm trying to say. A xylophone. There was a xylophone on there. There was an accordion. And I think there was something else as well. But a lot of the estimates were very, very high. On this accordion, it was like 30 to 50, or even maybe 50 to 80 on this accordion, and the others were quite high as well. So I thought, well, I'm going to have to spend a bit of money, but I don't know what I don't know what I'm doing. So for all I know, I could be paying retail on this musical instrument. And I was thinking, right, well, I'll just go up to a certain level, and then I'll have to just leave it. So I went up to that certain level, and then I just left it. It went above that level, and I just passed on it. So then obviously that meant, and the other ones went quite high as well. So that meant that I didn't have a musical instrument. And by this time now, we're probably halfway through the month, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I need a musical instrument. Well, this is really weird how this happened, but basically one of my next door neighbours, most people around here know I'm a reseller. I'd say like 2 doors down that way, no. 2 doors down that way, no. The one over there, the one over there, the one over there, one over there, no. Like loads of people, because we're a nice community around here. We have barbecues and stuff like that, so it's quite nice. So a lot of people around here know, and that's always good. I like people knowing. Sometimes it can get a bit hairy with certain people who don't like reselling and stuff, but in the majority, I like people knowing, because it means more opportunities. So I got a phone call on home phone. And one of my neighbours had some stuff, and they just wanted shot of it. I tried to give them a tenner. I said, look, at least take a tenner for it, but we were having none of it. Obviously, they've known me since I was born. So, you know, be well, not family, but, you know, we kind of on that sort of level, or very close friends, that sort of stuff. So they just wanted me to make a bit of money on it, and they did not want any money back because they were going to take it to the tip. So I got a scale electric, a big scale electric track. I didn't show any of this on video. I got, no, sorry, 2 scale electric tracks, both incomplete though, but I'll get some. Well, I got like 20 quid for one of them, but then I've got the other one on auction just to clear it because it's a massive, horrible one. And I just can't store things like that big. It's just too much, you know, too much space being taken up. And then I got, this is a good one, I got a Casio keyboard, and I got, what else was it? Oh, and I got a really nice sort of high grade remote control monster truck that I got 25 plus postage or something for. And basically, I was doing that. I sold them, and then I thought, oh yeah, I've got my musical instrument, you know. Now there was no power cable with it, and I think it took like 6 or 8 D batteries. And I was like, oh my God, it was getting close to the date now. So I'm thinking, well, I've got to sell this thing as untested because I don't have any batteries. I don't know how much the D battery cost. I might be able to get them cheap online, but I ended up saying to myself, right, I'll sell it as untested. I'll put it on auction. And I whacked it on auction at like 10 quid start with 10 quid postage. So literally hardly any money in it for me. But as I say, I've not got anything invested in it. So I literally did that, whacked it on there, untested, spares or repairs, whatever you want to call it. And I got 1 bid. And then this must have been cutting it close to the wire. I think it was about 3 days or 4 days before the show. And then I messaged David with the screenshot, and he was like, yeah, challenge, oh, what did he say? Challenge complete or something, he said. So yeah, I actually did. For the first time in like 3 or 4 months of challenges, I've actually done one. So yeah, really happy with that. A Xena phone. To call Xena, oh yeah, for Xena Warrior Princess. No, but Xena Warrior Princess isn't with a Z, it's with an X in it. Do-it-yourself lifestyle, posting done, pick up auction things done, come home to hat ads. Love it. What I missed? You missed talk about some sex dolls. You missed talk about me stripping. You missed talk about a pram that went for £150,000 on eBay apparently. And you missed some talk about some weird artificial intelligence eBay venture or something. But yeah, so I was really happy that I managed to complete the challenge ad. So I've done that. That's awesome. What have we got in the chat here? Where is David? Is he here? No, he couldn't make it today. I didn't, as you know, he's the one who's always prepared. He's the one who's like on it with the news stories. So I kind of had to just wing it basically, and those were his words actually. Just wing it, you'll be all right. And I was like, no, great. So I quickly scrambled around online for some news stories, and that's what we've got. So yeah, not much retro, not much. I haven't seen that yet. Oh, what are we in? Did you get the email from them? Oh, it's just some random chat. It sound like my kind of show. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, what else is it? What else do we normally do? I don't think there's anything we normally. Is there anything I've missed? Does anyone know the layout of the Kerching Club better than me? Because I just sort of turn up and just say yes to David, whatever we're saying. Like, yeah, I do that, or no, I don't do that. So if anyone else knows what else goes on in this show, please let me know, and then I'll round things off. But if not, I'll just take a couple of questions on the news stories, or a couple of questions on reselling from the chat, and then we'll leave it. You're always okay, Adz. You can either waffle for England. I can't though. You see, you have met my grandma actually. She came on the other week, but she can really talk for England. You're on the phone to her for 50 minutes sometimes. You're like, whoa, you know, blimey now. Where's my life gone? You know, what's that saying? Oh yeah, that thing where I forgot what show it's on, but they do like a little zoom, and then it goes, what was that? that was your life, mate. I don't know what that's off, but that kind of what it feels like, talking to my grandma about an hour and like, whoa, you know, bloody hell. But yeah, but she wasn't even that waffly on here. I thought she'd be really, really talkative on here, but I suppose she was a little bit nervous, so maybe she wasn't as talkative as she normally would be. Tomorrow at 1:30 is obviously Thursday Talks. I'm about 80% certain of the guest. I'm going to ask him, like, well, I've said him now. And you kind of know that it's someone who's not a reseller because I just said I'm going to ask him later on, which, well, I don't know, I suppose. Oh, damn it, I've just given it away a bit there. But yeah, anyway, 80% certain I'm going to ask him later on, and we'll see if he can come on. But yeah, that'll be tomorrow, so that'll be good. I like getting guests on Thursday Talks. You know, not necessarily resellers, but I like to bring a different dimension to it because it's very good when there's like two resellers just chatting amongst each other because they both know what they're talking about, right? And that's great, and you get real informative, informative content out of it. But if you've got a person who doesn't know much at all about reselling, and then a person who does know a bit about reselling, and you've got the chat full of resellers as well, it's quite interesting to get the other person's perspective who isn't a reseller on all of these questions and topics that we're sort of answering. So I kind of like on this channel getting a few more non-resellers involved, you know, because I think it does give a different dimension. I did a video ages ago, like over a year ago, with my friend Daniel, and basically I think it was entitled "A Buyer's View of Our eBay Listings" or something, because I wanted to get a real, you know, a real life buyer there who isn't a reseller, and their view on our listings and what makes a good listing and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, the customer in some respect is king. I mean, sometimes they don't feel like the kings, trust me, but they are, you know, essentially that old saying, you know, customer is king, customer is always right, that sort of stuff. And if we can get their opinion of what makes a good listing, then we can adapt our listings to suit their opinion. Unfortunately, everyone has different opinions, so it doesn't always work quite so easily, but, you know, it can work. Oi, cow bionic, lol. Just call me Woody. What is that? What is that? Oh my god! I'm glad Adz knows what he's talking about. I haven't a clue. What do you mean? I'm talking about real reselling related, hard hitting topics. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Can I get a yeehaw? I don't know what I mean. Well, how do I do it? Yeehaw! Is that right? Is that right? I don't know. I don't know how good that was. Question. Oh, here we go. Question. What's the plans now for Amazon for you? I just sent up 100 kilogram shipment. Oh my god. I suppose getting ready for September, October, November. Yeah, okay, fair enough. I've got about, I think I said this on my previous chat, I've got about 10 boxes. Well, yeah, I did, didn't I? I've got about 10 boxes or so, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, of Christmas stock. I'm still building that up. I really want to try and spend some money on Christmas stock this month and next month, because I'm going to say this now, Q4 is like a month and 3 quarters away, and then we're in October. Is that right? August, September, October. Yeah. So it's like a month and 3 quarters away, or like 50 days or something, and we're in fourth quarter. And you think that's a long time, but that is not a long time. It honestly isn't. And then you'll be there. You're starting to ramp up, you know. Yeah, Nick, that's what I'm doing. I'm sending up in October. Nick just says I plan to send up in October, November. I dread to think how much I have to send. Yeah, I love how much I want to aspire to get to how much you have to send. It's just like, for me, it's like, I love the fact that I'm basically, it's like a squirrel, and you've actually said this before, Nick, so sorry, I'm kind of taking the words out your mouth, but it's a great analogy. So you're basically like a squirrel hoarding your nuts for Christmas, and I love that. I love the fact I don't do it for eBay. Everything, pretty much 99% of stuff on eBay gets listed straight away. But for Amazon, I do it for Amazon because of fees and stuff. I keep it here and all that sort of stuff. But it's basically like I'm hoarding loads of stuff, loads and loads of stuff. And then like the boxes fill up, and then the boxes get to critical level. And then I'm like, right, I'm going to send it out. And then you like press a button, and then well, I mean, you don't just press a button, but it feels like that to me. I'm just pressing a button, and then it all goes out. You do a lot more work than just pressing a button, believe me. But that's what it feels like. It feels like you just press a button, it all goes up there, and then sell, and you're like, ah, lovely. It's not as easy as that, but I like to think it's as easy as that because it makes me work harder if I think of it in an easy light. But yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna send up sort of October, and I'll be sending up as much as possible, and then throughout October, November. Yeah, October and November, not quite December, but October, maybe a bit of December, but throughout, yeah, actually a bit of December. October, November, and a bit of December, I will be really hitting FBA hard and getting as much stuff on top of my Christmas stuff, that I've already sent in. So even more stuff going in, because all that stuff that I'll have sent in will be slowly selling, or maybe even quickly selling, depending on how fourth quarter is this year, and sort of what stuff I'm sending in. So then I've got to keep replenishing throughout fourth quarter. And I'm not trying to grow. I'm not trying to grow in fourth quarter. I learned that last year. I learned that the hard way. I tried to like get as many listings up as possible in fourth quarter to actually try and grow my store. Yeah, don't worry about growing your store in fourth quarter. Just worry about getting as much on as possible. And even if you're like your inventory goes down in fourth quarter, don't worry about that because that's good because you're selling stuff. But yeah, I learned that the hard way last year and trying to like proper list loads just to try and get my numbers back up. But yeah, it's so exciting. I can't wait for fourth quarter this year because I'm so excited to try and hit my targets and just work and get those numbers up. But I am sending in anything over 15 quid. So I've been sniping quite a lot of sort of 30 £30 item plus, but trying to hit that 50 to 70 quid, and then even a few hundred items if possible. So I've been trying to do that because obviously it's a bit bigger investment, but although saying that, you can sometimes get a gem for a couple of quid at a car boot that's going to make you 80 quid. But in the most part, you're paying a tenner for like, £50 plus items on eBay sniping, that is. And then that means that I'm sending less up. So if not as much sells, it means that I've not got too much up there in the long run, and I've leaned down my inventory. But if it does all sell, it means I can send less up for the same amount of money as I would have been doing last year on Amazon. But because last year I was doing £5 to £10 items as well, it means I've got to do more volume of that, and I just can't be bothered with that anymore. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy to do slightly lower value items on eBay. I wouldn't want to go too much below the £10 on eBay still. I still like to get things around that £10. It did a thing with me. I don't like doing things like too much below a tenner unless they are quick sellers. Like, I'll happily put on a video game that's like 6-7 quid or whatever if it's shoved in a jiffy bag and I paid like 50p or a quid for it and it's like a 1 or 2 day turnaround. I really don't mind that, but I don't want to be putting things on for 5 quid that's like antique bits, vintage bits that are just going to sit there and sit there and sit there. It's just no point for me. I just don't like that sort of thing. Right, I'll have this one more question and then I'll go. Oh wait, 1 second. That's a good idea for the future Adz Emporium and Adzland. No, well, I actually have a new idea. Yes, I know. I've now got 4 mystery projects on the go. It's terrible, isn't it? But all this while trying to still grow my eBay and Amazon business. But the one that I'm thinking of now is going to be more of a long-term goal. It's going to try and mix healthcare with self-employment, with networking, and with experience and like a bit more adsness, if you like. So it's going to help. Basically, it's going to help without reading too much into it, because I don't want to give it away because someone might copy me. But it's going to help fight diseases that are common in self-employed people. So, for example, hopefully it'll be somewhere that will help revitalize stress and, you know, relieve stress from specifically self-employed people. And it'll basically, I don't want to give too much away, because I want to give too much away, but I don't want to, because I need to keep my cards close to my chest. But it will, I want a place that people can network and they can help themselves in a physical way, because a lot of self-employed people later on in life, or even sort of midlife, can get diseases, conditions, things like that, because they work very, very hard, and it's a high stress job. So, you know, a lot of self-employed people have high stress levels in their job because they work. So I kind of want something that helps them in the health sense of the word, but also somewhere where they can go to network. And I've even got a name for it, but I'm not going to tell you the name, and all that sort of stuff. So it's interesting, but I need to develop it more. It's only an idea now. I need to develop the idea more. I need to clearly envisage this idea of what I've got. Then I need to go out and get the resources to be able to do the idea. But I imagine I'll have the resources by the time I'm about, if I do this other mystery project that I've not told you about, and I do the other mystery project that I've not told you about, and I have kids, I'd say 35. I'll be 35. I might be able to squeeze it in when I'm about 33 to 35. But God, yeah, I just have too many ideas in this brain. And I think by the time I'm 35, I'll have about 10 more ideas. And then I'll get to about 60 and I'll be thinking, oh my God, I've not been able to do all these ideas. And then I'll feel bad because I've not achieved as much as I wanted to. But I suppose you're only here for a finite number of days. So you just got to do your best and plow on, really, and get as much as you possibly can, you know, into your life, you know, and that's what it's all about, and being positive and working and getting to these goals and succeeding, not only succeeding in business, but succeeding personally as well, and having these personal goals that you want to achieve. And again, aside from even all that, you know, when I say personal goals, I mean like family, or people have goals like walking up Everest and things, you know, things like that. But even aside from all that, you need to have other goals that are just fun, that are just wacky, that are just crazy, that don't mean anything to anyone except you. So just fun things you just do for the hell of it, because you've got to, it's life, you know, you've got to have a mix of everything. So yeah, I'm not going to ramble on about all my weird things anymore. So I'm going to leave it there, because I did say that I would go after that question. So yeah. Actually, did I even answer that question? 1 second. Oh my, oh. Question. I don't even think I answered it. Question. How did you find eBay? How did you find eBay in Q4 last year? The packing, shipping, and listing. It's hard work on your own, I find. Yeah, well, I have to admit something. I wasn't completely on my own. In fourth quarter, my mum does help me a little bit. She's a massive. I mean, in quarter 4 last year, I don't even think I could have done that on my own. It was intense. It was really, really intense. Obviously I did everything else myself, but just that little bit of packing that my mum helped me with on a weekly basis, it was really good of her to do that. And it was a big help. That's why I kind of want to be a part of a reseller couple, because you've got that support from each other when one of you is either feeling a little bit down, or sick of packaging, or sick of listing, or whatever. And I've always said to myself, I mean, I was the kind of person who sit at the back of the class. I would always sit on my own. I wouldn't let anyone come near me. I just like to look out the window daydreaming, that sort of stuff. And I would always do my work on my own. I would hate to be a part of a team. But now I can start to see myself being incorporated into a team with a significant other. So I think I've come around to the idea of teamwork a little bit more through actually being a bit more of a lone wolf in my own business for the last 2 years. So yeah, I think I can appreciate teamwork a little bit more now, and I think that helps because, you know, you can be a bit biased towards one thing, and that's not necessarily a good thing. So opening up my mind a little bit more now, and trying to think, you know, that teamwork is a good thing, and realizing that is just another personal growth for myself, I think. So yeah, anyway, I'm not gonna, it's like I'm it's sort of like I'm a psychiatrist, or what is it, a psychologist, and I'm like talking about all these big deep things to you guys or something. I don't know, but I did want to actually be I wanted to be what's known as a love consultant. So where you basically where you would consult people on their relationships and love and stuff like that. But I don't think a love consultant particularly is the right title for the job. I think it's called relationship counselor or something. But I thought, no, I'll be a love consultant. But yeah, right, I'm gonna go. It seems like a few people are off. Man up, Adz. I ship out 60,000 rain ponchos last week on my own. Yeah, but surely they're like 65. Yeah, but surely they're like in like little packets of like 100 or something anyway. Or is it really individual ones? You can't tell me it's just individual ones. You've got, like, wherever you get them from, surely they've got to come in like big packs or something. And then you just put a big pack in a box and then another big pack. Surely it's not individual. It can't be. You'll be there for hours packing individually like that. Lol, I've done about 10 listings. What, you've done about 10 listings while watching this? Well, I must be a good motivator. See, there we go. It's boxes of 200. So what's that like? 5 times by 60. That's like 300 boxes. No, okay, that's still quite a lot, to be fair. 300 boxes of 200. Well, 300 like packs of. Yeah, it's still quite a lot, actually. Yeah, I'll let you off. Okay, that is pretty hectic. Could you imagine Adz as your counsellor? I think I need my own counsellor. I don't think I should be fit to counsel anyone else. But yeah, anyway. Right, I'll leave it there, guys. Thank you for watching. I am very sorry David couldn't make it, but he sends his apologies. And I'm sure he'll be back next month anyway. I need to actually ask him what my challenge is for next month. Or for this month, because then I need to actually crack on and do that. Yeah, I've got some parcels to go out now, so I've got to do that. And yeah, don't forget to leave it a like if you did like it. I'll be back tomorrow with Thursday Talk. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. That's it. I'm going to go. I won't say any longer. So see you very soon, guys.